Hello friends, today we will be reviewing the MariaDB server, which is like an open source relational database, and you can see on the shared screen I'm on the mariadb.org, and we'll go through the documentation of it. So how do we go there? So click on the documentation, and then it says to introduction to relational database. It will route to the another website starting with KB introduction to relational databases. We will go to the MariaDB server, and we'll start with administration, and then there are other documents. So let's click here MariaDB administration, and then first we go to how to install and upgrade the MariaDB. So there are different versions, in which the MariaDB comes in. So you have a binary package, you have this thing, you how to start and stop, and then performance compression. So basically, like I can show you in my other screen. 1 second. Is like I already installed using the brew install MariaDB, and I'm right now on my this MacBook, and this is my first and the only the command that I think you click on MySQL, and once you click on once you actually type MySQL, it gets you to the command of MariaDB, and then you click a help, and then you got it. Then this is the one command which I ran, that's slow global variables like half SSL. So TLS support is the most secured way, and by default it is it says like the binary package is compiled, but this feature is disabled, and these are the TLS version which right now it's there. So we will see it how to go about it. So let's come here, and I have another one. Okay, so let's go where to download MariaDB. We will go. So okay, there is a pre-release binaries getting the source code, so you can find the source code here, and that's it. Or either you can go to the download mariadb.org. Okay, let's go back, and so if you have a MariaDB binary package, so there is an option how to install rpm.dev. How do you install the MSI package on Windows, server package on Mac OS? So I did this. So basically I actually installed brew install MariaDB, so it took care of it. So you can use any of these, nothing to worry on it. End of the day you will get the same thing. Then how do you upgrade it? And so there are different documents how to upgrade it. Let's open the one of this upgrade. The suggested procedure is that you modified the repository configuration. That's the way install, or you stop, then uninstall the old version, install the new version, or start MySQL or upgrade. Okay, so there is an option you need to follow. It's a simple set of commands. So okay, then how do you compile and MariaDB? You don't do it, it's just like the one time starting and stopping is the one thing. Let's go here. So how do you start and stop the MariaDB? So you have to know whether your system is in a systemd systemd or sysvinity, then upstart. So basically I did it with let me see you how did I start it. Okay, okay, so when I installed, I did mysql.server.start. It started it up. Okay, and you can see it here, and then I clicked MySQL. Okay, so there are different options. So I use this and this mysql.server, which works on a sysvinit script. How? Okay, so there are options, based on your init, so you can do it. Okay, and yes, so it's a one time, and then there are options what okay, running MariaDB from the build. There are different options of start and stop. Okay, so okay, let me stop it. So I did it MySQL server dot start. So if I let's exit my here MySQL dot server stop. Okay, let's see, does it stop or not? That's, I think something is happening. Okay, let's get back. See, the first thing is like, yeah, the first thing is okay, the first is how do you download it, second is how do you install it, and how do you start and stop it. Did it stop? Okay, so I think okay, so it says MariaDB server process is not running. Let me see, can I start it? Okay, so it started successfully, and then I do my SQL, it takes me directly to here, and so global variable. Does it show anything? I don't know. I don't know the commands and all, but let's see. Okay, let's see exit, and then buy says like okay away. Okay, so the point is like when I do an exit, it automatically disconnects, and I can check here like MySQL D. Okay, so it says still is running. So internally it called this this path. Okay, and so okay, let it run. I think v stopping is not a problem. We can, okay, let's come to user and the server security. So let's go here, encryption. Okay, so data in transit encryption, what it says: secure connection overview, certificate creation with OpenSSL, securing connection for client and server, replication with secure connection, securing communication in Galera cluster, SLNTS system variable, SLNTS status using TLS 3. Okay, so we'll go quickly, secure connection overview. So I was saying like it supports the TLS support, and when I run this command here, which is can I, okay, so if I run it here, it says have SSL, it's disabled, and then there are three options for it. If it is disabled, then the server is compiled with TLS support, but TLS is not enabled. If it is yes, then the server is this thing. Okay, TLS version, and then there are specific details about this thing. So okay, now before you do it, you need to create a certificate. So how do you do it? You go with you generate a private key, and this is then you create a private key and a self-signed certificate like this. OpenSSL required new key RSA 2048 -DS36500 nodes key out server key PAM out server required, and then you process the key to remove the paraphrase. So you open SSL in server key and out. So basically you have to run these commands. So once this is done and you get an OK sign, your certificate is up and running. And okay, now how do you do it? You have to secure. So you need to enable the TLS for MariaDB server. How do you do it? Okay, so to set this variable, add the system variable to revealing server in an option file. Okay, so you have to go to the option file, and the certificate which you created in the earlier page, you have to set this parameter, and then you have to restart the service. Your SSL will turn to yes, but right now our SSL is disabled. Okay, so it is so what does it mean? It means like the package is compiled, but your TLS and certificate is not enabled. Okay, how do you enable TLS for MariaDB clients? So basically the thing is like your client and the server. So this is what is happening. So this is my client, okay, which I have written MySQL. So basically this is MySQL, which is local, but in some cases you have to connect from the remote. Okay, so how do you do it? You set the same thing on the options files, and then okay, then you're done. Okay, enabling 2V TLS for MariaDB client. 2-way means that both the clients provides a private key and an X509 certificate. It is called a 2-way TLS because both the clients can be authenticated. So this is the option you have to do. So just remember that there is a way that you provide the SSL CA, SSL cert and SSL key, and through which your this thing gets enabled. So okay, so if you want to see that if whether my session is using the connections or not, let me try to run this. Okay, so this is disabled. Okay, okay, SSL file I was not able to copy, so let's see if I can. Okay, so there is no value, it means it's not. If it is there, the value is it. So you need to set those things, we will not be doing right now. Okay, so if we want to TLS for specific user account, then I have to do alter user this at require SSL. So what does it mean? Like if this user starting with ls and at whatever the letter it is, if it is enabled like this, it must use TLS. Okay, and then there is an option that I can give the require cipher from here for an example, and I can also have a X509 clause. So there are the different options. How can you get the TLS defined at the user level? So one need to do it if there is a part of security and safety. Okay, now replication with secure connection. The term master and slaves have historically been used in replication, but the terms primary and replica are not preferred. The old terms are used throughout and by default MariaDB replicates between master and slaves without encrypting it. This is generally acceptable when the master and slaves are in a network where security is guaranteed through other means. However, in cases where the master and slave exist on a separate network or they are in a high risk network, the lack of encryption does introduce security concern as a malicious actor could potentially eavesdrop on a traffic as it is sent over the network between them. To mitigate this concern, MariaDB allows you to encrypt replicated data in transit between the master and slave using the transport layer security protocol. TLS was formerly known as a secure socket layer, but strictly speaking, the SSL protocol is predecessor to the TLS, and that the version of the protocol is now considered insecure. The documentation still use the term SSL often, and for compatibility reason TLS. Okay, so the same thing, you create your certificate in the option file, you provide these things in the master and slave. Okay, and this is the option that you stop the slave, change the master to this, and you start the slave. Okay, then there is an option how do you do it one way, you actually stop the slave and then change the master to use a CA perm. Okay, which is SSL underscore CA, and you do not have the key and the cert. Okay, and then you start it. So you have to follow this document, and it's a one-time setup and you can do it. Okay, let's come back to here. Securing communications in a Galera cluster. So what is a Galera cluster? So by default Galera cluster replicates data between each node without encrypting it. This is generally acceptable when the cluster node runs on the same nodes or in a network where security is guaranteed through other means. However, in cases where the cluster nodes exist on separate network or they are in a high risk network, the lack of encryption does introduce security concern as a malicious actor would potentially eavesdrops on the traffic that is sent over the network between them. To mitigate this concern, Galera cluster allow you to encrypt data in transit as it is replicated between each cluster node using the transport layers security protocol. TLS was formerly known as a secure security. Okay, so I think they're reusing the same thing because I think this is the third time I read it. Okay, so the key point is like you have to in the option file provide this certificate part and then just enable it. Okay, and Galera cluster. Okay, so let's see what this thing is. Okay, let's search for the Galera cluster. So this is a MySQL, the true multi-cluster based on the synchronous replication. It is easy to use, high availability. So it is a cluster from MySQL. Okay, this is called Galera cluster and it does the synchronous replications. Okay, now comes to what is the SSL and TSL system variables. Okay, so have open as SSL. Okay, so I think preferably they are going to this thing open have SSL. Okay, have SSL, and then there is SSL CA, SSL OPATH, SSL CERT, SSL Cipher, SSL CRL, and there is a description. Okay, what is the path? Okay, and SSL key, TLS version SSL history. So okay, these are the defined one. And what are the status variable? Okay, let's see. Accept, negotiate, accept. Okay, so you can read it when you configure it. So these are the different options which it says based on the security features. So if you query these one, let's see, let's try to query this. Okay, so we'll show global. Okay, so session status, hopefully, let's see, I think it should work. So it says no. Okay, I'll say so global variables like okay empty set. So it's like at the session level. So these are the different options you have it here, and then it says using TLS version this thing. So open. Okay, this is another options that you can use it or not. Okay, so let's move it. And I think the important part one can how to set up a Galera cluster, how to admin and manage it for MariaDB, how do you install it, start and stop it, what are the security things you can put at the user level, how do you enable the two-way applications for a master and a slave. So okay, these are the important. Okay, data at rest encryption overview. Let's try to see what it says. So it says having tables encrypted make it almost impossible for someone to access, steal a hard disk and get access to the original data. MariaDB got data at rest encryption with the MariaDB 10.1. The functionality is also known as transparent data encryption. This assumes that encryption keys are stored on another system using encryption as overhead of roughly 3.5%, 3 to 5%. So data at rest encryption means like whatever the data is present at the table level has been encrypted. So yes, and you have to store the keys into the another system, and there is an overhead of 3 to 5%. Which storage engine does MariaDB encryption support? MariaDB encryption is fully supported for the HextraDB, InnoDB storage engines. Okay, so I think we will go. Encryption is also supported for the area storage engine, and but only for the tables created with row underscore format is equal to page. MariaDB allows the user to configure flexibility what to encrypt. In HextraDB and InnoDB, one can choose to encrypt everything, individual table, everything. So when you say the storage engine, so what are the storage engines? So basically these are actually the base on which your DBs or other functionalities are defined. So I can have these engines, storage engines. Okay, so basically it will how your data can be stored. Basically this is like a, in other words, a set of functionality that has been defined and made it to be an open sourced, and so one can work on it. Okay, so what are the limitations? So these limitations, only data and only at rest is encrypted, metadata. Okay, so the data sent to the client are not encrypted, only the MariaDB server knows how to decrypt the data. Okay, so there is another option, MySQL binlog can read encrypted binlog only when read from remote server is used. Okay, so PREQ one extra backup cannot backup instance that user encrypted InnoDB. However, MariaDB fork. So there are further, based on there are further, I would say, conditions based on which you can decide which, how, and when, how to access this MariaDB. How do you manage this encryption key? So MariaDB data at rest encryption require the use of a key management and encryption plugin. These plugins are responsible both for management of encryption keys and for the actual encryption and decryption of data. MariaDB supports the use of multiple encryption keys. Each key can use a 30-bit integer as a key identifier if the specific plugin supports key rotation. How MariaDB manages depends on which encryption key management solution you use. Currently, MariaDB has three options: file key management, AWS key management, Epira key management. So if I hover over these links, somewhere down the line we will have it to read. So we'll go that time. Once you have a key management and encryption plugin set up and configured for your server, you can begin using encryption update. Okay, you encrypt your data. Encryption occurs whenever MariaDB write pages to the disk. Encrypting data, table data, requires that you install a key management and encryption plugin, such as file key management plugin. Once you have a plugin set up and configured, you can enable encryption for your InnoDB and area tables. Encrypting data tables. MariaDB support data at rest encryption for InnoDB and area storage engine. Additionally, it supports encrypting the InnoD redo log and internal on-disk temporary tables that uses the area storage engine. Okay, encrypting data for this. So there is another option. How can you do encrypt InnoDB, ExtraDB, and AreaDB? It also provides an option for encrypting the temporary files. MariaDB also creates temporary files on disk. For example, a binary log cache will be written to your temporary file if the binary log cache exceeds binlog cache size or binlog statement cache size. And temporary files are also often used for file sorts during query execution. Okay. Since Maria 10.5, these temporary can be also be encrypted if encrypt temp file on is set. Okay, so there are another option, InnoDB encrypt log. Okay, binary logs increase and thank. Okay, so I think let's okay, why encrypt MariaDB dataset? So why is it so generally why do you encrypt it? That's what it is going to say. So quite naturally, nearly everyone owns data of immense value: customer data, construction plan, recipe, product design, and other information. These data are stored in clear text on your storage media. Everyone with the file system access is able to read and modify the data. If this data falls into the wrong hands, okay, this may result in serious consequences. With encryption, you protect data at rest. That way the database files are protected against unauthorized. When does to protect your data? Okay, what to encrypt? So it is a personal related, customer, financial, public. And then how do you handle it? It is like file system, AWS, and EPRI gateway. Okay, we will go with that. Okay, now let's come. Okay, so here we come, key management and this thing. Okay, let's go here. So MariaDB data editor requires that the use of a key management and encryption plugin. These plugins are responsible both for the management of encryption keys and for the actual encryption and decryption of data. MariaDB supports the use of multiple encryption keys. Each encryption key uses a 32-bit integer as a key identifier. If the specific